Yes. Oh, the calendar's back.
All right, good morning. This is the time and place for the planning hearing officer hearing for September 21st, 2016. My name is Roger Kiesel, and I'll be conducting the hearing as hearing officer. We have one case today, and relevant exhibits are posted on the panel located directly behind me. The one case is located at 2260 Honolulu Avenue. It is a request for a parking reduction permit, case number 1615101. The applicant is Janelle Williams of Williams Land Use Services. And it is an application for a parking reduction to allow a physical instruction school, which is, in this case, the Arthur Murray Dance Center, without providing the required parking, located at 2260 Honolulu Avenue in the CR commercial retail zone up in the Montrose area. If the findings of fact for the parking reduction permit can be made, then the parking reduction permit will be granted. If the findings of fact cannot be made, the parking reduction permit will be denied. Public notice. Notification of this hearing was accomplished by the use of public notices, which were mailed to property owners and property owners and occupants located within 500 feet of the subject property, physically posted on the site in question, and a notice was placed in the newspaper. The hearing will proceed as follows. I'll read a description of, I've already read that. I'll read a description of the application request. Then I'll read the reports received from other city departments and other letters or communications. Then the case planner, Kristen Asp, will make a brief overview of the case, give analysis, and make her recommendation. Then the applicant will be asked to come forward and present their case. They'll be given 15 minutes. Others in support or opposition to the project will be given 3 minutes. And then the applicant will then be able to make closing comments within a 5-minute period. The hearing will then be closed and taken under submission. And then decision. After the hearing, the decision will be prepared in writing, will be in the form of a letter sent to the applicant and to all people who responded to the public notice, either by speaking at the hearing or submitting something in writing. The date of the decision will be the date appearing on the letter. Appeals. Under the appeal provisions of Title 30, Chapter 30.62 of the Glendale Municipal Code, the decision may be appealed to the Planning Commission within 15 days of the decision date. Anyone wishing to appeal may obtain forms from the Building and Safety Permit Services Center, located on the same floor of this building. Speaker cards. If you wish to speak, please write your name and address on one of the speaker's forms and submit it to our staff. Looks like we've got all of them. All right. I'll just read briefly the case number again. Again, this is a parking reduction permit application, case number 1615101 for 2260 Honolulu Avenue, and it's a request to allow the physical instruction school to locate on the site without providing the minimum number of required parking spaces. So we didn't have too many comments from other departments. Nothing from neighborhood services. Economic development. The owners met with the Montrose Shopping Park Association to introduce themselves and share their business concept. The board seemed to support the business locating within the district, is what economic development said. Police, no concerns, and parking said the parking division said for this specific project, the hours of operation and peak times proposed should not negatively impact parking in the area. Those were the comments that we got from other departments. I will turn it over to Ms. Asp, who will briefly present the project.
Thank you, Mr. Kiesel. Good morning, everyone. This is, as you already stated, this is an application proposing to allow a school of physical instruction, Arthur Murray Dance Center, without providing required parking in the CR commercial retail zone located at 2260 Honolulu Avenue. The property in question is an 11,295 square foot L-shaped lot that contains a two-story building totaling approximately 18,500 square feet that fronts Honolulu Avenue to the north and Market Street to the east. The tenants within the building include an existing restaurant, Cracking Crab, and multiple offices at the rear of the building facing an alley and Market Street. The vacant storefront for this proposal in question occupies 3,791 square feet that fronts Honolulu Avenue. And the site is surrounded by commercial retail zones and commercial uses. No parking spaces exist on this site because no parking spaces were required when the building was constructed in 1941. There are 3 city-owned parking lots located within 500 feet of the subject site. City parking lots number 1 and number 7 are located east and south of the property and contain 35 and 95 parking spaces. And city parking lot number 3 to the north of the property contains 308 spaces. As you noted, no major concerns were received from various city divisions. Now, the code requires that upon a change of use within an existing building, additional parking spaces be provided for the new use over and above the number of spaces required by the prior use. The vacant space was a retail use and required 4 spaces per 1,000 square feet of floor area. The new physical instruction school requires 10 spaces per 1,000. The tenant space is 3,791 square feet with approximately 1,100 square feet designated for dance training. And according to the city's parking, when you apply these ratios, the parking chapter, used in the parking chapter, the parking shortfall for the new school would be 23 parking spaces. Staff believes that the findings can be made under Chapter 30.50.040B to grant a parking reduction permit. This is based on the proposed location of the dance studio within the Montrose Shopping Park, where use of shared parking facilities is anticipated and identified in the North Glendale Community Plan. Shared parking facilities are available in lots to the south and north of the Montrose Shopping Park, as established by a field survey. These lots are located within a 2-minute walking distance. In addition, there is on-street parking available. The physical instruction school is an appropriate use for shared parking since the majority of classes will occur after typical peak hours for the Montrose Shopping Park with a slight overlap during the dinner hour. Arthur Murray Dance offers ballroom dance lessons with a focus on adults in the evening, in evening classes and after work. The lessons are mainly one-on-one with a maximum of 2 to 4 lessons, generally offered simultaneously. 1 to 2 group lessons with an average of 10 to 15 students will be offered usually after 7 p.m. The business owners indicated that their hours will be Monday through Friday from 1 to 10 with anticipated peak days being Wednesday and Thursday. Dance lessons generally run 40 to 45 minutes and start on the hour. A parking study was prepared that demonstrated adequate parking inventory is within close proximity to the site for employees and patrons for use during these hours of operation. The shopping park in total has seven city-owned lots, and those lots are intended to serve the businesses of the shopping park. During the times counted in the parking study, with the focus being on the peak hours, Wednesdays and Thursdays, approximately 35% of the study area's 576 parking stalls are available, and this evidence supports the fact that there is a surplus of parking to meet the demand for the School of Physical Instruction. The peak parking demand for the dance school will not conflict with the current lunch and evening parking demand caused by the neighboring food establishments. The applicant has indicated, and a condition is recommended, that a sign be posted within the facility to inform clients of available nearby parking facilities. With that, staff was able to justify the required findings for a parking reduction permit and recommends that the request be approved. That concludes my presentation.
Thank you. We've got 4 speaker cards. I don't know if you all have an order that you want to speak, but I'll call Janelle up first, Janelle Williams of Williams Land Use Services, and then we'll just go from there.
Good morning, Mr. Kiesel, Kristen. Thank you very much for that presentation. We think this is going to be a great addition to the Montrose Shopping Park. We've heard a lot of people in the shopping park saying we've got too many restaurants. Let's not have any more restaurants come in. And this is nice because it's not like a typical, say, Zumba operation where you have tons of people coming in and exercising. This is something much more refined than that. And in many cases in the shopping park, a strict application of the parking code to require full on-site parking it's just not practical, and it would prevent businesses from locating in the area. The owners of the business are here, Katie and Eric Padilla, and they will talk about what a typical class is like as they teach currently at another Arthur Murray operation. The 23 parking space deficit is really a calculation based on the use category, but this operation would not generate any more parking demand than a typical retail operation in the Montrose Shopping Park. I wanted to correct something. The hours currently would be Monday through Friday, 1 o'clock to 10 o'clock. Dance sessions generally run about 40 minutes long, and they start every 45 minutes, not on the hour. And the reason for that is because most of the lessons are one-on-one. So if they have a maximum of 4 instructors, they'll probably have a maximum of 4 students. So they would not really need 15 minutes between lessons. The adequate parking inventory is within close proximity to the site. 3 of the 7 lots in the Montrose Shopping Park are located within 500 feet of the property. And there is a surplus of parking based on the parking study to accommodate this use. Okay. We have looked at the conditions of approval and agree with all of the conditions of approval with just a couple of small changes. We would like to have a 15-minute break or transition between larger class groups and a 5-minute break between one-on-one or two-on-one class groups. Everything else is fine with us. We will do an additional parking count for the weekend, including Saturday and a Sunday count, and we'll get that to you right away. Okay. The focus of the dance training will be on adults, and most of those will be enrolling in evening classes and after work hours. Parking is easily accommodated in the Montrose Shopping Park based on the study. And the site is also served by the local B-Line shuttle, the MTA transit lines. We have bicycle lanes, multiple bicycle racks, and we would also be marketing to the local pedestrian, the local residents who live there. So chances are that they would walk to their dance lessons. The site is now sitting vacant, and we think that the Arthur Murray Studio will draw new crossover business to the local area, and this will benefit other local merchants and restaurants and be a contributor to the revitalization of Montrose. Very, very few Montrose businesses are able to provide private off-street parking. And if code-required parking were strictly enforced in this case, it would cause an undue hardship and not be consistent with the intent of the regulation. It would hurt not only this small business, but the larger Montrose Shopping Park. And I also want to say that this business is supported by both the Montrose Shopping Park Association and the Montrose Verdugo Chamber of Commerce and other local businesses. We're excited to see them come in. They've done a lot of goodwill in the months leading up to this hearing date. So a lot of the merchants already know them. And they attend everything that they can attend, the ribbon cuttings and everything, just to, so that everybody gets a chance to meet them. I'm here to answer any questions you may have or go through the findings one by one.
Why don't we do this? Let's get through the speakers.
Yes.
And then I've got a couple questions, and then whoever can answer those questions can come up. Patsy Ma, do you want to speak? Yes. Okay.
Good morning, Mr. Kiso and staff. My name is Patsy Ma. I'm one of the partners owner of the property where the applicant is applying to open up Arthur Murray Dance Studio. We're very excited to have them coming into the building. I just want to share some of the processes we have when we have a vacancy on Honolulu. First of all, as most of the properties do not have parking, we all depend on the number of city parking provided. And it is not really practical on the parking ratio code in that section of Honolulu because there's no private parking per se. We've got, when this space became available, I have multiple offers from restaurants. And our partners and I, we decided not to pursue that and rather wait for something else that would be more adding to the synergy and a little bit different to bring into Montrose. The retail scene in Montrose, if you go on the street, the businesses, straight retail, they're struggling. So we would see more of them not being able to survive. We don't want other applicants that have come to this space are such as another Pilates studio, spin, exercise. Those are very big classes, and we think that would be more of a detriment. Arthur Murray, which is a well-established name, I think it's such a prestigious outfit that we're so excited for them to come in. Our neighbors or other tenants in the building, at least 3, already says that they're waiting to take classes after work. So we're all very looking forward to them coming into the community and opening up.
Great. Thank you. All right. Alex Carr, and then is it an N-E-V? Carr. Oh, okay. Then Katie Padilla.
Hello, good morning. My name is Katie Padilla, and this is my husband, Eric Padilla.
Good morning.
We're
Morning.
opening the Arthur Murray Dance Center at 2260 Honolulu Avenue in Montrose. My husband and I have been working for Arthur Murray for combined almost 30 years. And, our business is a mainly private lesson, high-end one-on-one sessions. We teach most of those throughout the day. We do offer 1 to 2 group classes in the evenings after most other businesses' peak hours. We potentially would want to maybe have some hours on a Saturday, but probably more in like 10 to 6 range, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. range. I'd like to repeat what Janelle said about the lesson time was 40 minutes for the private lessons with a 5-minute passing period. Group lessons will also be 40 minutes, but we can have a 15-minute passing period between those group lessons. We feel like Montrose is probably the perfect place for an Arthur Murray Dance Center with the hometown feel and the neighborly, everybody knows your name feel. We kind of have heard Arthur Murray be referred to as a Cheers or a Disneyland in the past, in the way that it makes you feel when you come in through the doors. Everybody there is a community of dancers.
I think you just said everything I was going to say. That was pretty good. Good job. I just want to say the opportunity that we have here in Montrose is something that we've been looking forward to for the last 4 or 5 years. We've been operating at Sherman Oaks at an Arthur Murray there, and what we can bring to Montrose is a feeling of community, which is already established, but we can also bring it into the doors that are next door to us and continue the feeling of family, continue the feeling of culture and community. The important thing for us to do is to bring people together, is what we do. When so many people are so attached to their devices on their phones nowadays, this is what we do. We bring people in contact with each other, back together. And that's what we feel like we're going to bring to Montrose. Very proud of what we do. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. All right, I don't have any other speaker cards.
Anybody call for a demonstration?
I'm sure you have that question, Roger.
Once, twice.
I'm sure you have that question. Ask the question.
Do you want to give us a demonstration?
Would you like music?
Yes.
Oh, email. Explain the tango.
This is the Argentine tango. We actually went to Buenos Aires and learned romantic dance, sultry at times too.
If I can't find it.
Do you want to find it and I can ask a couple other questions or yeah, okay. Just can you go through, and I don't care who answers the question, can you go through like a typical day and how the studio operates?
Absolutely. So we would open, say, at 1 p.m., and the first thing that we would do is we'd have a staff meeting from 1 to 1:45. Then we would have lessons, private lessons from 1:45 and 2:30 would be 2 lessons, 2 individuals. And usually we'll have a 15-minute break there. And then we have a lesson at 3:30 and 4:15. Those, again, are individual lessons. Mm-hmm. Then we have a dinner break at 5 p.m., and then we have individual lessons again at 6 and 6:45. Another 15-minute break at 7:45 and 8:30 would be, if there was going to be a group class, it would be at one of those 2 times. And another private lesson at 9:15.
Okay. And private lessons are 1 or 2 people?
Right.
Okay. But the studio, you would be giving a private lesson in one area of the studio, and maybe your husband giving another private lesson in another part of the studio.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
On the same floor, typically. We have one ballroom floor where we
Right.
do all the personal lessons.
Yeah. Okay. And then the group lessons are just you maybe in front, and then everybody else in the watching you.
In a sense, I can describe that as well. We usually have the leaders or gentlemen line up on one side and the ladies line up on another. We have one teacher in the center. Often the other teachers will be sprinkled throughout the rest of the class to help out. Mm-hmm. And the one teacher that's in charge shows the man's part, shows the lady's part. Then they get together and they practice it together, and then practice again with music. Now we rotate partners throughout that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds good. At this point, you're not going to operate on the weekend, but you want the ability to.
We'd like to be able to.
Okay. All right. Can you go over the parking counts just so that I'm clear what they are and what they mean? So you took parking counts on 3 days, and for instance, and you broke down the parking counts into different areas, different sections of the streets, and then the 3 close-in city lots.
Yes.
So what I'm looking at,
It's quite
just
a feat.
I'm sorry.
Quite a feat.
It looks like it, yes. So just to take the first one on Wednesday, June 8th, at 1 o'clock, you found 81 parking spaces available
Yes.
during that time.
That's
So
correct.
there were 3 available on Broadview between these 2 streets. There were 4 available in Lot 1.
Yes.
So it looks like 1 o'clock is the busiest time, at least on Wednesday, and then it sort of the amount of available parking goes up until about 5, where it starts going down again,
Mm-hmm.
and then
As people leave work.
right is starting at like 8:30, the availability of parking goes up again.
Way up. Yeah.
So, but this is, at the very least, on Wednesday, there were 81 parking spaces available.
Yes.
With the street segments as well as the 3 lots.
Correct.
Okay. And then that seems to be actually the worst time.
Yes.
Okay.
The 81, yes.
Right. Yeah, I just picked
the
the
worst
worst.
one.
Okay. All right.
The last 3 pages kind of distill it,
Right. Okay.
kind of
And-
summarizes those tabulations.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, which lot is closest to your
The
all
lot
space?
that's the closest to them is lot, if you look behind.
Should be lot 7.
Seven?
Lot number
Okay.
7.
It's immediately
Okay.
behind the alley.
3, and the other one is 1.
Correct.
Okay. And lot 3 is across the street?
Lot 3 is across the street, across Honolulu, and then lot 1 is the one to the east.
Okay. All right.
It's not far.
And then you did mention in your presentation that you met with the Montrose Shopping Park Association
Yes, Katie and Eric met with the Montrose Shopping Park Association
at one of their monthly meetings.
at a regular meeting,
Okay.
and have met with some of the members privately.
And did they express any concerns or?
Yeah, no, that is true. We went to we joined the Chamber of Commerce, the Montrose Verdugo Chamber of Commerce, and we went to their first meeting. And we ended up doing a little dance, and so they did put us in the newspaper and were welcoming to us, and actually have helped us, introduce us to the people that we needed to know here in the city to help us with the process. And then we also worked. We went to the MSPA, Montrose Shopping Park Association meeting, and we met with Andre, the president, and his business is, the Copy Network right behind us, and he's been helping us, with different little of the printouts that we've done on our windows inside the store, and things like that. And we've also...
They've been very active and involved since even before opening their business.
Okay.
Just getting the word out, getting to know their neighbors. I think they're going to be great neighbors in the Montrose Shopping Park.
Everybody seems to be excited.
We're excited about it.
As we've just met people, when we've been in the studio, looking at things or cleaning things up, trying to get ready for this. Everybody that walks by seems to be like, oh, what's this business? Oh, that's so exciting, and they want to.
People are dropping in.
Okay,
they want to know.
Welcome them.
In terms of weekend operating hours, your business is there, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. How do the peak hours on Saturday differ from the Monday through
Sunday?
Friday?
Well, that's a good question that I can't really answer at this point because I don't usually work on Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
If I do, I'm just running in and out for something.
Okay. All right.
I don't really have a good beat on that.
Okay.
I'll get back with you. We'll do the parking counts.
All right.
That should tell the story. Okay. And
Those are all my questions. If you want to do the demonstration.
have our demonstration.
Very nice. Thanks. All right. I don't have any other questions. Do you have any rebuttal or any closing arguments?
No, I just look forward to receiving your decision. We'll get on the additional parking counts right away.
Okay. Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, with that, I'm going to close the public hearing. That's the only thing on the agenda tonight, or this morning. So I will close the meeting. Adjourn. Thank you.